Yeah, I know this game isn't exactly new or relevant, and every YouTuber that was going to talk about this game has already, but when this game came out, I didn't have a YouTube channel. It did, however, inspire me to create one because I was so disappointed in this game that I needed a way to voice my opinion on it. But at the time, my laptop was crap and couldn't even dream of running any decent capture footage. And you know what they say online, if you're going to make a YouTube channel, talk about what you're passionate about. And I'm very passionate about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And more importantly, I'm very passionate about the video games. Not to get too bogged down or to take too much time about explaining the history of these games, I've been playing these games ever since I was a little kid. Just to put it in perspective, my first video game that I got for Christmas that was my own was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters by Konami that came out back in 1993. Yeah, I'm that old. So that is the reason as to why I'm going to take a small look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Even though everybody else has already done it already, I thought I'd take a stab at it anyway. Let's take a look, shall we? What happened to this game? Like really, I'm seriously curious. For what I can gather, the game was rushed out the door to coincide with the 2016 movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, which is funny because that movie was named after another horribly received TMNT game that came out in 2013. Well, you know what they say, misery likes company. So let's start from the beginning. Like I said, I grew up playing the old classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle beat 'em up games, such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, and the one that came out before it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the beat 'em up game that came out in 1989 on the arcades. These games are an absolute blast to play even to this day. Everything is just so responsive, from the character animations, the music is always a treat to listen to that was done by Konami, the environments, the boss fights, everything is just enjoyable. I could play these games for the rest of my life. But a game is only as good as its developer. We've had other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games that come out since then, and they were okay. But let's be honest, none of them were as fun as those two games I just mentioned. I think what still hurts me is that Konami got the license back in 2003 and somehow they screwed it up. Like all the magic and wonder that was put into those two games, they just somehow forgot how to do that and just rushed them out the door so it can coincide with the then 2003 Saturday morning cartoon at the time. So for a long time, us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans were without a good game. Every time we would see a game pop up, we would think to ourselves, the only good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, or the last good TMNT game, was Turtles in Time that came out back in 1991 in the arcades. So when Platinum Games announced that they were going to try their hand at making one, I was ecstatic. I was so happy. I was like, what could go wrong? You're taking two things I love, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which deserves a good game, especially having a 30-year drought, and you're taking Platinum Games, who they know how to make great action games like Bayonetta and Wonderful 101 and Vanquish, and you know all the games that they made. And I thought to myself, they could not possibly screw this up. It was like a match made in heaven until the reviews came out, and my reaction, it sort of went like this.
Oh man, oh god, oh man, oh god, oh man. Oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God.
But even with those terrible review scores, I still wasn't convinced. I thought to myself, this game can't be that bad, can it? Oh, they're just nitpicking, I said. You know what, they're probably not even real Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. They probably only played the game for like 2 seconds and judged it on those merits. You know what, I'm going to spend $39 and plunker down the money myself and play this game for myself. Then I'll show them, yeah. Needless to say, I was horribly disappointed.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Even the intro was mediocre. Like, why didn't the voice actor say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan to at least, give this game an identity? But let that set the tone of how mediocre and bland this game is. Let that tell you how much of a crap the developers didn't care. And I know the game was rushed, but I say it's a little bit of column A and column B. This stinks of Platinum's B team. You know the ones that make crap like Legend of Korra and Star Fox Zero. So first things first, let's talk about the graphics. The best analogy I can think of is this game is kind of like a very attractive person, and that's all there is. It's very shallow. They're very attractive, but they're not very deep. Now, I'm not saying every attractive person is not deep. It's not what I'm saying, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like someone who's really pretty to look at, but there's not much else there. The game looks cooler than what it actually is. The characters look awesome. The turtles kind of have like a manga / anime look. They have like bright orange eyes. They're very detailed. They got tons of different animations, like when you get trapped in a bubble, they kind of float around, kind of like the old arcade game. When you get trapped in slime, they kind of slow up. They added tons of character and animation to the turtles. I just wish they spent more time on the gameplay as well. So like I said, the graphics are very nice, very pleasing to look at. It's very bright, very colorful. It looks awesome. It's pretty much like the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV show from Nickelodeon and the comics of the time, I believe by IDW. If that wasn't them, then correct me in the comment section. It's pretty much like those two things had a baby, and this is the outcome of the aesthetic of how they look. Alright, gameplay. Oh good lord, where do we begin? I'm not going to go over it in any particular order, so I'm just going to list my grievances. Number 1, it's not very fun to play. Alright, let me try to explain a little bit further. You have a combo system where you kind of string along combos using square and triangle. I was playing this on the PlayStation 4 if you couldn't tell already. The problem is that the characters don't really stand up that long for your combos to be done. Your basic enemy, the foot soldier, they'll either fly away or they'll die before you even finish the combo. And not to mention, you got 3 other turtles in the vicinity, because you pretty much run like a gang and you beat the crap out of everything that's around you. So you can't really get any satisfaction of pulling off combos and knocking up in the air like other Platinum games. So it's really dissatisfying. Number 2, it's very frantic. Like I said earlier, all 4 turtles are on screen all the time, unless one of you guys die. And the camera is so pulled back that you can't really tell what's going on. So you can literally just sit there and just button mash and you'll win. There's no finesse, there's no skill. You can dodge out of the way, sort of, but it's kind of weird. Your turtle starts to spin on his back, and then you're supposed to time it at the moment the guy is supposed to hit you, sort of like in Bayonetta, but the animation is really fast, so it's kind of hard to measure when you're supposed to start dodging. And even when you do, it's dissatisfying. All that happens is that your turtle jumps on the back of the enemy and starts punching him in the back of the head. Yeah, I mean, you're a ninja that does martial arts and is supposed to be a master of assassination, and your greatest technique is to get behind somebody and just start punching them to the back of the head like a crazy person. But yeah, I can go on and on how frantic the game is. Turtles are running everywhere. You can't really beat up anybody like you want to. The camera's pulled back significantly. You can't tell what's going on. It's pretty much like playing Smash Brothers with like 6-7 people on screen at one time. You just can't tell what's going on, and that's a big pet peeve of mine when you're playing a game like this, because you want that satisfaction of feeling like a badass when you're beating up your opponent, when really you really don't have to really do anything. You can just sit there and let them take all the hits, or you could jump in, do a little hits here and there, but it doesn't take much skill. It's not very satisfying. It's not very fun to play, as I said. Not to mention, you're gonna die a lot playing this game because you'll be so busy trying to see what the hell is going on that you'll get hit by things that are either on screen but they're like really close to your character, so you can't really tell, or something off screen like a bullet or whatever. So your best bet is just to spam all the hotkey moves, such as the tag moves that you can do with each turtle, and just go from there. You could pretty much just win the game that way without getting frustrated. Sound is okay. There's not much to say about it. It's pretty mediocre. There were a few tracks, or at least one track that kind of stood out. It was the sewer level, which kind of sounded nice. It was kind of like synth pop rock stuff. I love that kind of music. It sounds kind of like, like Mega Man or something from one of Platinum's games like Bayonetta. But other than that, the sound's not very remarkable. It was not very memorable. They got like this weird theme song for the Turtles that plays like after each cutscene. I think they couldn't license the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme song from the 2012 show at the time, so they kind of just made up their own.
Time for that now. We've got our own train to catch.
And the way they play it, they kind of make it seem like you're supposed to know what that theme is, but you've never heard it before. And they kind of play it after each cutscene, like, whoa, those are the Turtles. It's like, that's not even their theme song. It's just weird. So, if I really had to sum up as to why I don't like this game, it's too frantic. The combat is very shallow. It's not deep at all. The camera is pulled back too far, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt to play. It's just not that very good. And even if you haven't played it yet, you can't play it digitally because I believe it's been delisted. So the only way to play it is to go hunt it down online, which, I mean, why would you? But it was very disappointing because I was really looking forward to this game, and I thought it was going to be like, you know, at least like a decent game like Transformers that came out for the PS4, I believe, a couple months prior to this game. And even though that game had its issues, it was still a blast to play. It wasn't very long. It was like maybe 10 hours. The combat was very fun, even though it wasn't as deep as some of their other titles. The combat in Transformers was very fun. It was very flashy. You could do a lot of combos. You know, it was awesome. Like, they didn't cram in all these Autobots on the screen. You either play as Optimus Prime or whoever the hell else. I'm not really a big Transformers guy, but you get the point. They did it good with that game, so why couldn't they have done it with this game? Like I said, maybe because they were trying to get it out for the movie. I'm betting that was the reason. And it didn't give them enough time to flesh out all their ideas. They just got it out, and the only thing they really could put their care into was the graphics. So what am I going to give this game? I think you already know at this point. I'm going to give this game a not worth it. It's not worth the time. I guess this is a review. It was really a rant, but it's really, I guess, a review rant. A rant view, if you want to. I don't know. But this game is not worth your time. Don't go play it. Don't go hunt it down. Even if you find it cheap for like $1, it's not worth it, okay? Alright, it's not. It's just a piece of poop. So I just felt like I had to get my ideas, my thoughts about this game out there. This has been Momo Gamma. Hit the subscribe button for more gaming content such as news, games, really just my opinion about video games and stuff like that, you know? So I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care, keep gaming, and don't play this crap, alright? If nothing else, don't play this crap, alright? Listen to me, alright? I want you to really listen. I want you to really understand what I'm saying. Do not play this game. Anyway, you guys take care.